ShartimusPrime, reading comics, toys are hella sick,
Then there's Jeans right over there, your Zendayas, and hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Revoltech action figure review on the figure complex, amazing Yamaguchi bleeding edge Iron Man. If you're trying to pick this up, you can do so at
Big. Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
No, you're not mistaken. I have not reviewed Gambit yet. That's the only amazing Yamaguchi figure that I don't have, that I have not reviewed, that I'd like to review, maybe eventually soon. But anyway, this Iron Man looks sick so far. Nice product shots over here. On the side, you can see there's some text, and then on the back, you can see a whole bunch of speech bubbles right there. If you want to read them, go ahead and pause it now. And then we get some more speech bubbles right here.
Excuse me? Did that say Ohio Gozaimasu? Tony Stark is not Japanese!
And then you can see a ton of accessories included with the figure. And then on this side, you get another image of Iron Man looking pretty awesome. Wow. And then on the top, you can see Iron Man right over there. And then on the bottom, you can see Iron Man amongst the Avengers. So let's get to it and crack this thing open. And here's the Iron Man figure out of the packaging. And wow, this thing has a ton of accessories, man. Oh, there's a lot of stuff to play around with right over here. And what you're looking at is only just a bit of it, man. But it does look really cool. Again, I always love that articulation with the amazing Yamaguchi figures. But anyway, let's get a closer look at all those accessories, and then we'll take a closer look at the Iron Man. Actually, before looking at all the accessories, we do get this interior card piece right here, which I think is pretty neat, so you can get a Hall of Armor display going if you want to. We also get the clear stand with the amazing Yamaguchi figures, which are mostly pretty good. However, the clip thing right here, or this clamp, is very frustrating. These are very loose, so actually using these for display has been very frustrating. Wish these had a more snug fit, you know, but you can also plug this into the back of the figure. There's a whole peg right over there for that to go into, and it works out pretty well. And then here's a stock image of all the accessories that come with the figure, and it's not showing that you get two different types of fisted hands. You get these fisted hands that actually have a hole in the front, as you can see right over here, and then you get this one that does not. And that hole in the fist is so that you could attach a peg, and then you could make this thing that we saw in the promo shots and just plug that right there on the very top. So that's cool. You can get this thing going on right here. I like that. Pretty sweet. We also get 10 of these tiny little Revoltech joints, which is very useful and helpful for displaying and posing these around. And you can see a close look at these little missiles right over here, these little rockets anyway. They're missiles, right? And I like how it fades from, you know, you get the orange going into just clear right there. And then same thing with this end. Did have one of these pop off on me right there. I had to super glue it back together. It was pretty easy, but a little unfortunate. And sometimes the joints will split on you. And I do like the metallic red paint that we're getting on all the accessories over here too. I made this little star shield type thing, so it's fun to get creative with these. I'm loving how that silver paint looks. That's really cool. And then the translucent blues look awesome too. I guess these are supposed to be like sabers or lasers. You know, at first I thought they were lasers, so I posed them around, you know, using these as lasers. I like that a lot. And to swap on the sabers, it's worth mentioning it's a bit tricky. So I removed the hand over here, and then what you want to do is remove this whole cuff piece with the peg, and then you want to take the piece that has the saber, and you can see that you get a port right here, and it's kind of like this weird hovering little port right there for that peg. So I'm going to go ahead and just weave the Revoltech joint right in there first, and then port this all onto the arm. And it's a little tricky to do sometimes, and there it goes. It's not too bad, especially because I have a little cut on my thumb. And then I'm going to just attach a hand right here, and that's not too bad at all. It actually works out pretty well. I'm going like that. And the blast effects look awesome too. I love how they have this milky blue paint over this plastic, so that looks really good. I like how you get these little jets right here on the back. You could also add these fins, very much reminding me of the Mark 45 from the Infinity War movie. And then you could see how you could add these effect pieces to the bottom of the feet. They have this angle to them, as you could see right over there, so they don't go straight down. So when you plug them into the bottom of the feet right here, you can get different angles from them. So, you know, it'll point straight or closer to straight down if you have them what seems like aiming downward. I don't know, I think that works out really well. It just makes a lot of sense the way that's pointing downward. Or you could also plug these effects into the different hands. I don't know, I think these are the closest to having repulsor hands, so you gotta kind of, you know, watch the angle and everything, and yeah, that works out pretty well. I like that. I think these flat hands are more good for flying poses, so you could attach one right over here, kind of going that way. Yeah, that works out pretty well too. So yeah, these are pretty awesome. So here's a close look at our bleeding edge Iron Man from Revoltech, and this suit design is actually actually what inspired the nanotech that we see in Infinity War and in Endgame for Iron Man. But this looks awesome. I love the gold paint and very reflective, metallic looking red paint throughout. And then we get the baby blue for the eyes and for all these different little pieces right over here that you could see throughout. So that is pretty awesome. On the side of the head right there looks really good. And then coming around the back, you can see his Matrix port right there. It's not really a Matrix port, but I like calling it that, you know, get into the Matrix. And then you can see that he has ports so you could attach the accessories right over here on the very back. Nice sculpted detail throughout on this armor too. I really like this a lot. That looks pretty awesome. And you can move this forward so you can see some of that gold going on. The arms look really good. I like that. We get another port right there on the forearm. And looking at the torso, the arc reactor looks pretty nice. I like that. Would have liked a little bit of white or something, but still looks really good. I dig it. You can almost cover it by moving these forward. I'll get into the articulation just a little bit, but yeah, we get some more these little mini repulsor pieces throughout. Is that what they're called? Mini repulsors? I don't know, but that's what I'm going to call them for right now. And you're just looking at the lower torso. And get some more of these like repulsor pieces right there on the hips. The legs look really good. I do wish the knee was a little bit more centered with the thigh. That kind of irritates me. There's no rotation right here to kind of straighten that out. But I will say the figure is very easy to get into vanilla poses compared to some other Revoltech figures though. But man, yeah, the paint apps, yeah, are astounding. I really like them quite a bit. We also get another port right over here, kind of like adding a little jet piece to take a picture of the figure with that, so that's pretty cool. And you can see, of course, he has the peg holes at the bottom of his feet. Now, one thing I didn't mention is I do feel like there is quite a bit of distance from the arc reactor to the head. I don't know, it doesn't look so bad looking at it from farther away, I guess, but yeah, looking at it closely, sometimes I feel like, this should be shifted up a little bit higher. But anyway, getting into the articulation, you can make this Iron Man figure's head look all the way up, and you get the neck joint in there as well, and he will look downward that far with both head and neck joints moving. You get side-to-side motion, and you get a great amount of head pivoting, and you can see that, you know, if you move all the way back, you will get some gappage right there, but yeah, it's not too bad. It doesn't really move back that often. It does get tricky trying to line up the head with the neck, though. That can be a little irksome, but not a big deal. Anyway, you do get these great butterfly joints that we just saw a moment ago, and then you can rotate them a little bit, so they move in and out, and they rotate up and down some. You get these great shoulder pads right over here. They're attached closer to the back of the figure, so you could rotate them and shift them up and down some. You get the Revoltech joint for the shoulder right there, so move upward that much and downward, and you can move it all the way down like that, so you get, you know, a joint there and a joint there. It's a double jointed Revoltech joint, and you could rotate. You get the single jointed elbow that bends in that much. You could rotate right there, and then you get wrists that turn side to side and hinge up and down, and you can turn them side to side if you wish to also. You get the diaphragm joint that turns side to side, crunches forward a bit, back a bunch. You get great diaphragm pivot right there. You also get a waist joint that moves side to side, great waist pivot and crunching forward and back at the waist. And then you get the hips that move outward right underneath the hip joint, actually, so it's like a thigh joint that can make them move all the way out. At the hips, though, you can get them kicking forward and back quite a bit, and this whole butt plate and crotch plate, you know, which is one piece, is made out of a fairly soft material. Yeah, you get that thigh swivel, and then you get a great single jointed knee that moves all the way in. And then this piece right above the ankle can be moved around a little bit. You can move the ankles down and up. You can rotate side to side. He does have ankle pivot, and you also get toe articulation. Now to measure out this Revoltech Iron Man figure, you can see that he's standing just a little over 6.5 inches tall. Then for your bleeding edge Iron Man figure comparison, we have the Revoltech figure next to the Sentinel re-edit bleeding edge Iron Man, and then we have the Marvel Legends version, which was part of the Iron Man 3 wave. I did add white paint over here, it didn't come like that. So I popped the head off of the figure really quick, and I did port on an Invincible Iron Man Tony Stark head sculpt, so having a comic book Tony Stark right over here on this Revoltech figure works out pretty well. It's just hanging on there, it's not really ported in, but it does match and scale. It looks really good. And if you wanted to put a Robert Downey Jr. head sculpt on there, that'll work too. It just doesn't work as well, you know, it just looks a little on the small side, but yeah, it'll fit on there, even though it just falls right off. And then for your Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi figure comparison, we have the Bleeding Edge Iron Man next to Spider-Man and Captain America, which is the only other Avenger from the Amazing Yamaguchi line, right? I can't wait for them to make a Hulk. Ooh, can't wait. But anyway, yeah, you can see that the vanilla pose right here for the Iron Man is definitely way better than the Cap and Spider-Man, especially the Spider-Man. Oh man, they've come a long way. And then here's a Bleeding Edge Iron Man Revoltech figure next to your average 6-inch scale figure. We have the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Oh no, I am not messing with you. I'm not going to say anything about how shiny your armor is. I'm just going to slowly, carefully, gracefully just walk. Oh. So again, I think this is an awesome figure. I really do like it a lot. I really got stuck in the action figure abyss with this one, and I didn't even get it into that many poses, or as many poses as I get some of my other figures, just because it takes a lot of time to set the figure up. There's just a lot of little details here and there. So, you know, these types of figures really depend on how much you like posing figures around. If you like putting the time into it, you're kind of like sculpting an image with all these tiny joints all over the place, to the point where it really does take a bit of time to get the pose that you want, or that look that you want. But I have a lot of fun with it, and I absolutely dig it, man. So at the price point of around $90, I'm giving this a sud rating of... And I'd like to know what you guys think, so be sure to let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button, as well as the notification bell if you have not already. And a big thanks to all these people over here that support this YouTube channel. I really do appreciate it, and if you're not signed up and you're interested in the exclusive giveaways and the exclusive content, check the link in the description below. If you want to see a photo gallery of images and the latest in Marvel news, be sure to check out marvelousnews.com. And don't forget to follow me over on the social media on Instagram, Stardust, Twitter, and Twitch. Links to everything down below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace!
Posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures every day. I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, it's okay.
That's crispy.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't.
Your face, I said, my shot, your face, I said, my shot.